Continuing in section 1.8 on quadratic modeling, in the previous two problems, the model or equation that represented the situation was given to us. Sometimes we actually have to do a little bit of background work to get the equation ourselves, and we'll look at that in the next couple of examples. In our example 1 here, in economics, the revenue from sales of a particular item is the number sold, which we're going to call X, multiplied by the price of each item, P. So revenue is equal to number sold times price. Seems logical, right? How much money do I make if I sell 5 things at $10 each? 5 times 10 is 50. I'm going to take in $50. However, there's also a relationship between the number sold and the price. This is called the demand equation. That also makes sense, right? If you think about it, if a company continues to raise the price on an item, eventually they're going to sell less of them because people will decide it's not worth it anymore. So that's that demand equation, a relationship between the price and how many we're going to sell. Market research for a particular brand of phone shows that at price P, the number of units in thousands sold will be X equals 800 minus 2.5P. As we answer our questions, we will use technology. So I'd like to start by finding revenue as a function of price. Now we know R is equal to XP, but if I want revenue as a function of price, I can't have X in my equation. I can only have the input variable P. So in order to get that, I'm just going to go ahead and say, well, I was told the relationship between numbers sold and price. I can replace the X with 800 minus 2.5P. Sorry. And then I have to multiply by this P out here. If I multiply that out, I would get 800P minus 2.5P squared. I can now call that the function R of P because the only independent variable is P. All right, so this gives me the revenue for phones at different prices. We're going to use that equation to fill in our chart here, our table. So for various prices, we're going to figure out what the revenue, or how much we're going to make by selling them would be. Since I'm allowed to use my calculator, I'm going to use a table to do this quickly. Let's put our function 800, and we'll have to call it X, minus 2.5X squared in. And then in the table, I'll just put the various prices. All right, so let's see here. Transferring the values, at $50 we make $33,750 in revenue. At $100 per phone, we're going to make $55,000. Charge $150, we're going to make $63,750. $200, we make $60,000. And then $43,750. And then finally $15,000. So you can see happening exactly what we predicted. If we charge more, at first we make more money. But then after a while, we've charged too much and people kind of stop buying. And so our revenue actually goes down because we're selling less phones. So what would be the best price to charge if we want to make the most money, if we want to maximize our revenue? Just looking at the list, the most money we make on the list is $150 phones. Right? However, we haven't considered all the possible prices in here. Maybe if we went up to $160 or down to $140, we'd do a little bit better than that. I do know that it should be in the neighborhood of $150 based on my chart. In order to figure out the price that would maximize the revenue, once again, we're really looking at the vertex of a parabola. I've got my R of P function in here. Let's graph it. Now, as far as my window, the inputs are prices. So if we went from 0 to 300 like we did in the chart, that should be plenty. And I'll count by tens. Revenue numbers are really big. Let's go from 0 to 70,000. Count by 10,000s. And you can see right about there is going to be that maximum revenue. So here we go with the vertex again. All right, using my calculator to find it, second calc and maximum. Left side of the vertex and right side of the vertex. And just enter for the guess. See, that was just about 160. That's probably just round off error out there. And that is 64,000. So, to get the maximum revenue, I should set the price at $160 per phone, and then we'll actually earn $64,000 in revenue. They didn't ask that, but that's what it means. So we'll achieve maximum revenue of $64,000 at a price of $160 per phone. All right, we'll do the next example in the next segment.